All right. Hello, 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 hello. Thank you for watching. This is a little prelude to Brady's blind bourbon tasting of the Neighborhood Tasting Society. And so here's a couple of protocols that I wanted to share with everyone before we got started tonight. So what you'll be getting in the package is all kinds of neat stuff, but mostly the big important thing is 11 2-ounce bottles of delicious bourbon. Yes, all kinds of different bourbon. Now, the way I selected it is for this, and I'll talk more about this in the tasting. But the reason we have 11 is that I went a little overboard, and of course, after I purchased and procured most of these things, of course, then I find out and remember this thing about palate fatigue. I talked about this in a previous video, but that's where our palates just basically, it's kind of indistinguishable because we're drinking a hot product. I mean, even if it's cut down to 80 proof, which none of these are, by the way, and we'll talk more of that tonight. But the thing is that our palates can only handle so much, especially of the same thing. So after a certain point, we're not going to be able to tell the difference, and you got to watch out for it. Jenny reminded me on bourbon trail tasting that she did. There's a couple of things, and I read about this in other places as well, is one, neutralize your palate with coffee. Make sure you're staying hydrated and getting swishes of water in between. Somebody asked about spitting. You can spit if you want, but this is high-end premium quality bourbon. Don't spit it out. Come on, people. Don't waste that stuff on the ground. I mean, we're not professionals here. We're just trying to figure out what we enjoy for ourselves. You can spit it out if you want, right? But the stuff we procured is, no, let's not do that. All right. And then the other thing Jenny reminded me of is that when you're sniffing. Now, again, there's not one of these bourbons that I got that's less than 90 proof. So higher alcohol content. Some of them go up to almost 120 proof. Craziness, I know. So that's pretty hot. And as hot, even just with any alcohol or strong olfactory sensation that you're going to smell with, watch to the nose. Don't snip too hard until you break it with a little water. So that was another one of my protocols for tonight is choose your breaking mechanism of choice. If you prefer ice, rocks, hey, use ice, okay? I'll probably be doing water for the soul spirit that I can measure it and actually use, I'm actually going to measure out my pours into teaspoon amounts. So it's just a little bit. It's enough to get the flavor on my palate and hopefully extend or prevent most of this palate fatigue. Because if you think about it this way, we procured 2-ounce bottles so that you can certainly have more for later and enjoy it on the rocks or the way you like it, or even mix it. Because some of those are great for mixers, especially if you don't really like them that much. The alcohol is going to be fine. It's going to have a neat flavor profile, but find the best one for you. But the 2-ounce bottles will give you plenty to taste a little bit. That teaspoon or even a tablespoon is going to be not a whole lot of alcohol. And then if you break it with even a quarter teaspoon of water for consistency purposes, that's going to open it up. And, right now, if you think of it this way, most 80 proof bourbon I've had, or whiskey for that matter, you have it neat. That's going to be a little sweeter on the nose and less burning. Anything higher than that, which we are dealing with here, that's why I want to cut it with water. So even if you do like a tablespoon of bourbon to a quarter teaspoon of water, you're going to get that nice ratio where it just opens up the flavors and the senses and the aromas in the palate. So not just for the nose, it'll protect the nose a little bit, but it'll certainly protect your palate a little bit more and pull out the flavors of the bourbon. So have some water ready to go, or ice if you prefer, and certainly water for in between tastings. If you are using the same glass, I'll be using a whiskey tot or actually a little sherry glass tonight. And you'll see that, and I'll talk more about these things, but use a glass that works for you. Have these things ready to go. I'm also putting in the package for everybody some coffee. I'm sure everybody has coffee at home, but some coffee beans, just again, to neutralize the palate. So look for that inside your package. And there's 11 delightful bourbons in 2-ounce things. Oh, and from a recycling standpoint, hold on to the bottles. They are one of the ridiculous, unexpected, higher cost items of this whole little endeavor. Is, each one of those are about $1. I think with the closure, we got it down to 62 cents, but I was not able to procure any from a wholesale standpoint, even though I think we will need it down the road. Certainly I will for the tastings that I want to do. But just know that there is a cost to that. And the benefit is you already paid for it. So I don't need the bottles back. And what you can use them for is they're 2 ounces. So you could bring them on an airplane when we go back flying places. And one of the great ideas that I saw for this sucker is, bring 4 or 5 of your own. Label them of your favorite things. So when you go on business travel or even personal travel, as long as they fit in the quart-sized bag for the TSA at the airport, you're golden. You can do that. You can bring it in there. You can put it in there. Heck yeah, you can. You can do it. So the cool thing is that have that ready to go, label it with the way you want to, and then you can bring your favorite stuff to your hotels, wherever you're at, and know that you're not going to be overpaying in the bar for, a glass of mediocre bourbon that you're not going to like, because you're going to definitely develop some flavor profile in this tasting. So know that those bottles can be reused for more than one thing. If you have daughters like I do, they were talking about, I want one of these bottles for my magic potions. I have no idea what they're talking about. But I gave them a bottle so that they're appeased and happy. And I'll certainly say, I'm like, wait till I have my bourbon tasting done, and then I'll have plenty of bottles. So I know that we're not using stuff. So those are a couple ideas. Hold on to the bottles. Hold on to the closures. They should be fine for a while. For storing bourbon, because I know I might forget to say this later. So I remember right now, you can use these and store the bourbons ideally out of sunlight in a cool, dry space. It's a plastic closure with a rubber inside lid so that it's gonna, even if you spill it over, it shouldn't go bad. Don't hold it on its side. No whiskey should be stored on its side for that much long of a time, because whether it be cork or even plastic, or in this case rubber, that alcohol will eventually taint the flavor of the stuff inside, or it could even eat it away, and then it would just all evaporate out, and then the angels would get more than their fair share, and we don't want to do that. So, all right, that was a lot of stuff. Thanks for watching this far. I am excited. Don't look at those bottles in the background too closely. I don't want you to figure out what we're pouring tonight, and it'll be mixed up. We might have to do it in 2 rounds, like I said, but we'll figure it out as we go. So my intent is for fun, and certainly upgrading our bourbon tasting experience in the rest of our lives. All right. That's what I got. And it's all kinds of fun stuff. And I think I said it before, but and I told people I procured about $750 worth of bourbon stuff. That includes the actual whiskeys as well as those bottles. So it's a really good deal. So I'm really excited about it. Hope you're really excited about it. And we can't wait to taste it. Tasty, 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 tasty. All right. That's what I got for now. I won't probably see you in person, but I will definitely see you digitally and also always on social media, just like here. All right. Thanks for watching. Good.